Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to All Around on Radio.
Well, for the weekend, and I want to see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man on there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show.
Thank you, Mark. Mark Robinson, Sweet Sister Mercy. Thank you for that theme song. How you doing, Ceris?
I'm fabulous. How are you, Scott?
You're looking fabulous today. You have a glow about you. You do. It's really cool.
It's my halo.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm an angel.
Really, yeah. Okay. We all know better than that, but we'll let that slide today and leave it alone. Hey, we're talking today. It's nice to have you back. I missed you last week.
It's nice to be back.
Kevin Cooper did a nice job filling in and doing some fun stuff, but he sure left a lot of the explicit language out. He did.
I'm sure a lot of you missed it.
Let's see who's checking in today. We've got a lot of people. Glenn on the YouTube channel. Thank you, Glenn. Rob Paisley on the YouTube channel. Thank you. Stephanie Rumke. Thank you. Marie. Thank you for being here. Vicky Toy. Are you still in Key West? Yes, he's in Key West. Ugh. That kind of sucks for us.
Sorry for you.
Not for him, but
no.
Sucks for us. Yeah, unbelievable. What do we got? Got some highs to Ceris there. Mark Robinson checking in.
Hi, everybody.
We just had Mark's vocals here on the air with us. We did. Hi, Steve Stein.
Hi, Marie.
We're gonna let some people catch up. Kareem is in the house.
Man, long time no hear, buddy.
I saw him the other night at the Bell, but he was kind of sitting back in the back corner.
Oh, I wasn't there.
You must have missed. You weren't there.
Hey, Dewey.
What's up, Dewey? Thanks for dropping in. Hi, Bill Burley. Thank you for being here. Hey guys, it's going to be a festive show today.
Oh.
We're gonna kick it in the butt right now. Are you
Kevin
ready?
Kevin brought his ego.
Oh, good. I hope he carried it in a suitcase.
Yeah.
Jamie Combs is afraid to get on here today. Yesterday he was on the show. I mentioned what we were doing. He says, "Oh, ouch," is what he said. So he said he may not show up today for fear of being listed in the ego bunch. I don't know what that meant.
Who was that?
Jamie Combs. He was all worried about it. He was worried about the show today. So is Jim Cuesta. Jim says he doesn't like drama, so he's going to avoid the show today. He thinks it'll be drama filled. What do you think? Is it drama filled yet? No.
No, I barely opened my mouth.
Well, yes. When it comes to 80s hair, you're killing it, according to Dave Worthington.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment, but I'm gonna assume he thinks it is, so I'm gonna say thank you.
One of these is not like the other. Yeah, I have no 80s hair, and Ceris has beautiful hair. So there. You know, if I did that, it just goes nowhere. You know,
well,
it is. Okay, what else we got? Oh, Jamie says that wasn't me. Look at him. Yes. He said ouch when I said we were talking about egos. So we'll see how this goes today. So, Ceris, you have music business egos. Let's talk about it. I've got some things. You've got some things. And as always, I'm going to defer to my partner in crime here and let you start it out. Let's talk about some egos you might have run into in your business.
Well, I honestly can't, unless I'm just drawing a blank because they were so horrible, but I can't really recall an ego issue I had with like a singer or a musician per se. My issues that I've run across, and I want to make sure that I say this, that the great ones completely outweigh the negatives. Okay. Like the negative ones. I've only ran into maybe 3 or 4 that have been an issue for me, but the sound guys, 3 or 4 of some of the sound technicians do not like being instructed or having somebody having an opinion on what works in their own room. Apparently we don't know best what works in our room. Now, I'm not to say that I don't know what there is. I don't know how it works, but I do know that it's managed to work with thousands, like hundreds of other bands. So there's no reason why it couldn't work with theirs.
Okay. So some sound technician issues. I would
Actually, I
tend to
do
say,
know one musician who has a horrible ego problem. C, it starts with a C, last name starts with a B.
okay, there we go. Wow, did you just do that? If we stay on the air, it'll be a miracle. It will. Dave Shores wants specifics, please. We're not getting deep into this, but we're not here to hurt people's feelings. We're here to talk about egos today. And sometimes egos hurt people's feelings. They do. And I've seen, and you're lucky if you haven't seen any musicians with egos, because I've seen them. And there are some that,
there are some, but
waltz in the room with their head bigger. You need a garage door to get them in the room because their head's so big.
Well, they get deflated pretty quickly if they walk into the bell with a big head.
And I did a musicians conference once. I went to this thing and I listened to these people, these rock stars talk. And I mean, there was a lot of big names there in that. And one thing that really just cracked me up, Billy Idol was there. And Billy Idol, I mean, in his own right, has made, plenty of money. He's had plenty of hits. He's been a superstar. He's still selling out places that he's playing, even though they be smaller venues. Billy Idol said to the crowd, "Hey, nobody in a band is better than you are," talking to the lead singers, basically. And he says, anything you see us doing on stage, and they were going to play after this musicians for him, he said, you can do too. And I thought that was pretty damn encouraging for musicians sitting in the audience that, basically saying, hey, I put my leather pants on the same way you do. So you can be a rock star just the same. But then he went on to say, don't let your head get in the way of stardom. And I thought, interesting.
Well, I think ego will destroy any and every opportunity you've ever been given or you give yourself. You'll just destroy it.
And I'm trying to see what Dave Shores had to say, because he's a sound guy. And I'm scrolling back. I don't see where it was. He said, specifics about maybe the sound guys thing, because Dave's a pro sound man, does a great job. And, no sound guy likes to be told what to do. I mean, right down to the best ones. They don't like to be told anything, because everybody in the room says, I can't hear the guitar. I can't, it's like, it's in the mix, relax, those kind of things.
I don't think anybody should go up to a sound guy and tell them what to do. But I think if the owner is coming up to a sound technician, they have a right to say, well, first of all, they have a right to say, okay, you got to read your room. And if your room's not full, it needs to be turned down. And eventually we can go up as soon as the more people come in. But some people like to start loud from the get-go, and then that scares people away because you got nothing to, to like muffle that sound a bit. And so, I mean, like with Jeff on Thursday nights, I love working with him because it starts off loud, but give him about 3 or 4 songs and it all evens out. And Thursdays is not an easy night to do sound because it's constantly changing.
Right. I agree.
And he manages to kill it, in my opinion.
Well, let me tell you, I got a venue owner that wrote into the show today, saw the topic, and said this. He says, I have a great topic for the ego show. He says, if a venue asks you repeatedly to turn it down, turn it the F down, is what he wrote. He said, we are not rebooking several acts due to blowing people out our front door.
Yeah.
He says, he basically says, for our small little venue, you don't need to bring the outdoor sound. And that's interesting.
I'm with them. In fact, there's 2 bands that have reached out to me to be booked in 2023. And I give multiple chances, and I've had horrible experiences with their sound technician that I won't book them. Extremely talented bands, but I won't book them.
Right.
Because if I have to continue to go up to you and ask you to turn it down, or, I mean, come on. And it's not always all stage volume, you know, it's turn it down.
That can be an easy blame. I mean, the sound guy can always say, oh, it's the stage volume.
The amount of people that use that, I'm sorry.
Well, it's the sound guy and the band's responsibility to work together. We talked about this last week with Cooper and everybody else, but it's one of those things where, again, it goes back to working hand in hand with everybody and having respect for each other. And I know the one sound man you've dealt with that's a problem, and I've watched him tell people, basically owners of rooms, because he sucks. Okay, I'm just going to say it. He sucks. Looks at people and says, you know, basically F off. I'm the sound guy. You don't, you know, do you know how big a person I am? Do you know I'm a kind of a big deal? I'm the sound guy. You're nothing, dude. I mean, you know, he if he ran sound, I'd have respect for him, but he doesn't. He's asleep at the wheel every night. Yeah.
And, you know, I tried to approach the people, you know, the artist on stage, and they were, I mean, it's everybody's got to be a team or nothing. Like that was the first and last time. I mean, his attitude ruined it from the get-go anyways. I was like, yeah, I'll never work with you again, ever.
Right.
I don't care how good you are. You will not play in here again. And I don't think they wanted to, because I made it pretty clear that I wasn't interested.
Thanks, Casey Gomez. We loved your show Saturday, man. You rocked the house. We talked about it a lot yesterday. Yesterday, I pumped their tires up a lot.
I need to watch that show yesterday, because I wish I had tuned in, because, oh my goodness, what a show that was.
Yeah. See what Hollywood has to say. He's running Pullman Lanes down there, Scott's Bar and Grill. Let's talk about it. We can adjust after the first song. Doesn't need to blow them out of the building. Yeah, and we give I always give the sound guy or girl the benefit of the doubt. Let them get it dialed in. I mean, sometimes they didn't get a good sound check, you know? I mean, it was a short sound check, or somebody didn't show up. The one guitarist came in late because he got stuck in traffic on 275 or something. I get that.
Also, you know, sound checks, when you actually start playing, it's always a little bit different, because there's either more people in there, or there's less, or whatever it is. So I always give a couple of songs to get used to it. But if it's continually like this, and it happens every single time you play, no, you're just disrespecting me and my place. And your job is to entertain and make people want to listen to you. And if nobody wants to listen to you, if you're so loud that people are leaving, how am I supposed to pay you? I make money off of people being there.
I agree. And again, I think so often the bands and entertainers that I know that I consider to be there's the really super nice, great people category who I would love to work with every day of my life. And then there's a few that fit into this egotistical, I'm a rock star status type of attitude and mentality. And those people have forgotten the one important thing. And you just said it. Venues are doing you a favor by booking you in their place. And these people that get the big egos think that they're doing you a favor to grace your stage. Honest to goodness, I don't want to, burst their little bubble, but some nights a lot of people in the room could care less about their big ego or how big a star they think they are or this or that. There's been a million bar stars in the world over the years who have never gone on to anything but just playing music in a local venue. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But if you think you're going to be a Nashville star or a rock and roll touring act or whatever you're going to be, you better learn to get along with people. That's just Scott's opinion only.
And I agree with you. But now I think bands and venues should work together because they benefit each other. But in reality, it's so easy not to rebook somebody that eventually you're not going to have anywhere to play anymore.
Yeah, and word does travel fast on egos. It does. I mean, if you've got an arrogance or an ego about you, and I'm going to talk about something a little later on in the show that just gets under my fingernail beds, man.
Thursdays is a really good. Thursdays we find is actually the night where I find the most egos. It's usually the ones coming in that have the most egos that are like, well, put me up. I can do anything. I can do everything. I'm great. Just put me up. I can play whatever I want. And they're always rude because they don't get up on when they want to get up, or they give Kathy shit or whatever it may be. And you know what? They're usually not. They're probably at the bottom of the totem pole, and they're not good at all once they get up there. But they talk such a big game, and it's the ones that are like these phenomenal players that you would never They would never, ever, ever make a scene or pump their chest up because they can pick up some sticks or whatever it may be. And it's usually that way in general, I find.
And the other thing, if you're going to go do an open jam or an open mic anywhere or anything like that, first of all, you've got to be a little flexible. You got to lose the ego. First of all, you're not there to take over the room, because the room runs itself with the people that run it. And you're not there to come up on the stage and say, oh, I want to change out an entire drum kit because I only play my drums. Screw that. It can't happen. It kills the vibe immediately. Yeah. And how many times have we seen that happen? I mean, there's just, or somebody, I want to play through my amp. No, you're going to come in, either you can play, and anybody that's reputable and quality can plug in
play on
and in
anything.
A few minutes play. Yes.
They can play on anything. You're either good or you're not.
Rick Kern steps up on the stage. He plugs in. He yells at Kevin Cooper, like, what are all these electric gizmos? Fix them for me. Kevin Cooper fixes it and he plays remarkably. I mean, that's just how it works. Yep. So I'm looking here at I'm looking at comments as they go. We've got some good ones coming in. Thanks, Mike Roberts, for that one. So, Ceris, you said working together is an important thing. Obviously, we've said that in so many of these shows we've done already, that it's kind of a marriage or whatever. But do you think there's people strutting around out there with the attitude that they are bigger than what we're all doing? I mean, you're a music venue making music. You know what I'm saying? Yes,
I think there's a lot of people who think that. What look at Bob Klein's comment. It kind of goes with what you're saying. Now, I personally love cover bands. I mean, I love it, but I
cover bands make bars money. They do.
And I personally love cover bands because there's a reason why those songs are hits, because they're amazing and I want to hear them. So, but I mean, I love it all. I love music in general. I don't care as long as sounds good.
Kevin Cooper, that's a great comment, because I've heard that too. I've heard people tell me, oh, I don't go to that jam because those musicians on stage their egos are too damn big, blah, 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 blah. They're managing a room, man. Kathy Laverde is managing a list that can't go from, high energy AC/DC to Tear in Your Beer Country. It can't drop the next song that way. It's got to maintain a flow.
Yeah, people don't quite understand how this jam, there's a reason why we don't call it an open mic, and there's a reason why it's a jam, and we do it very differently. And it's always the younger ones too, or the ones with the biggest egos that are like, oh, we couldn't get on, or we went, well, because we have to figure out how it works. It is so hard. They work like a week in advance trying to set it up, and then everything. Then you add in like 10 new players, and it makes it's not easy running that jam. And people need to calm down a little bit, stop being such dicks about it, because it's not easy. And it's not just for the musicians. We're putting on a show for the amazing people that are coming to watch these incredible musicians as well. So there's a lot of ego there.
Did I hear you say dick? Did I hear you say dicks?
I said dicks. Yeah, dicks.
Well, great. You've given me the opportunity to do what I've wanted to do to you for a long time right here. Let's put that up in the corner. You want to? I
feel like we're all adults. It's a word. Can we get over, it's a word? There you go.
There. This is our advisory. Then I'll get back to Glenn's comment where he's dogging us out for our topic here today. Thanks, Glenn. Parental advisory, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching a show where words may fly. Understand it. We're being very gentle today, actually, on this topic. We're being very gentle on this topic today. And yes, Glenn says, I thought this show conversation was about egos. Thank you, Glenn. We appreciate your input. Bye. All right. Now let's move on down the line.
I don't know what he said.
I'll move on down the line. Don't be hateful, people. All right. Don't be hateful. Hi, Marcy. Thanks for being here. I'll see Marcy later at Mr. Burroughs Tavern. And hi,
Marcy.
It's a sporting goods store, Mike Roberts says. Yes, you're right.
It is.
It is.
And so they don't sell dicks there.
Let me engage into some things. First of all, let's think about musicians on the national level for a minute. All right, musicians on the national level. We know a lot of musicians out there on the national level who have huge egos. I can go down the list that shouldn't have them. Gene Simmons. If Gary's on here, he's going to take offense to this. Gene Simmons has a massive ego. All right. Axl Rose has a massive ego. Billy Corgan had a massive ego. Liam Gallagher. I can go. I mean, I've got them all written down here. There's a list. John Lennon, for all you Beatles lovers, sorry, had a massive ego and shouldn't have had it. And then the number one on my list, Kanye West. If we're doing top 5 Tuesday, he takes the number one for having the biggest ego in music. But there are local artists who do too. That is a career killer. If you want to advance in the music business, having a big ego will get you nowhere. Because the community talks. If somebody comes and acts up at Marcy's place as a band, she's going to tell a few of her friendly friends that are owners, venue owners, and they're going to be less likely to book that band next time. And Ceris, like you said, you have a couple that you're not going to rebook not because the band isn't good, because their sound man was a dick, as you said.
Rick and Trina seem to have an issue with me.
Where are we at here?
Apparently I have an ego because I have an opinion.
No, they said just kidding. Love the show.
Yeah.
But no, and I know Rick and Trina. They're good peeps.
Well, that's good. They don't.
Yes.
It's the classic musician's dilemma: big audience, an open list, and guaranteed to play. Pick 2.
Oh yeah. Well, that I think he's talking. Are you talking about the jam there? Maybe.
Well,
but that's just a great example, and we always tend to circle back around to the bell because it's what we know about some of these things. But I'm going to say most venues I know.
Look at Shane DeMoss's comment.
Where is it? I got to find it here. Every time I get on a train of thought, I have to find a comment. Where's Heath? Is he on here? Is Heath on here? I don't think so. But yeah, Heath Bowling. He's like a lovable little teddy bear. Heath Bowling isn't he? Yes, or whatever.
I hope his dog's okay.
I do too. I saw that as well. And if you know Heath, get on his page. He's asking for a little help with taking care of his family member at home, his dog. So please take a peek at that, if you will. So let me get back to what I was talking about. All right. And then I'm going to get to my biggest pet peeve here before we go today. We've got a lot more to talk about, but maintaining good relationships with the venue, we've said that in every episode we've done. That's hugely important. But, you know, it's my belief, especially, and one thing I see with bands with egos is opening acts. And I'm going to say this because a lot of the people we know play openers at different places. And one thing I admire about our guys from like Sweet Sister Mercy and 1330 and some of those people is when they open for a national touring act, like at the Blue Note or somewhere like that, these guys stick around and see them play. I despise somebody whose ego is so big that we brought all our fans for the opener and now we're ready to leave and we're going to try to get all our fans to leave too to prove we're the best and we should have been on the headline. And it's so bad, man. The competition between musicians drives egos so bad. And that's just one of my topics. I've got another one here in a minute.
They are part of the band, Tom. They're part of your band, the band. So you have to hold the entire band responsible because that entire band, including the sound tech, would be coming to play at your bar. So if you can't fix the problem at hand and the problem still is there, part of that band, then they're not going to get booked.
And you're going to find it hard to believe, Tom, but I agree with Ceris 100% on that one. It's
you're a team. We're all teams here.
Yeah, the band is a team, and it's very important that the band knows the way their team acts, right down to the person selling your merch. If they're acting up or, partying in the back and doing stupid stuff at a venue, it's going to reflect directly on you. It's got to. And that's no different than any team, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let me see what a few more comments look like, and then we'll get to another little quick topic here. Maybe unrelated to you guys.
Well, the only time I charge a cover, and if anybody knows me, I hate charging covers, but the only time I charge a cover is when I actually cannot afford the band, like they're way out of my budget, but I know everybody wants to see them, so I stick to like a $5 cover, and every single penny of that goes directly to the band. Whether it goes over what they charge or not, I don't keep a cent of it. It all goes to the band.
And let me answer Tom here, because Tom, I agree with you there. You don't always have the same sound tech. And I was referring to, and I think Ceris is referring to, the sound tech you hire to come in to play your show. Now, if you're doing a show at a venue where you're third on the bill and you're at the mercy of the house sound guy, I get that sometimes. That can go south quickly.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Tom. But, it completely depends. Yes, absolutely. I thought you were talking about like their usual, if they have the same sound tech. Yeah.
And you're bringing them in, you're paying them. They're coming out of your cut. You know, normally the venue isn't writing them a check separately unless they've hired the sound tech. So this is a band employee. So treat them as an employee, work with them, but also make them represent your band in the way you want to be represented. I've known a lot of great bands have been destroyed by their sound guy, and vice versa. You know, so let me see what Casey has to say here. We're running out of time.
I always want to know what Casey has to say, because he's amazing. Ego has destroyed everything. The reality is that most folks with huge egos are insecure and incapable of working in group. Correct. And they also don't like to be corrected.
Wow. They don't. So let me ask you this, Ceris, or let me talk about this.
Yeah.
Now, there are people, and obviously the band business, whether anybody wants to admit it, you know, everybody says, oh, we're all working together. We're all a family. We're a happy musical community, blah, 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 blah. But you know, and I know sometimes that's true. And sometimes that's not true. Mm-hmm. And many times this competition on the socials, which we'll get into a whole show on social media, but the competition on the socials is this, and I'm going to say it. There's a lot of faking going on out there on social media, as we all know. And there's a lot of bands who strive to have the most followers, likes, fans, whatever you want to dial that in as. And it's all bullshit. I'm going to say that out loud because people are buying likes. And the way you can tell, and bots are horrible. I'm going to get on a roll here. Bots are horrible, but you can buy a bunch of likes. You can have 100,000 followers on your band page tomorrow. If you want to pay for them, you can have it. I could have them on my page as well. It's why we only have 6,000 followers. I'm not buying a damn one, especially some guy sitting behind a screen getting paid a penny for each one in Bangladesh that he goes and likes. It's not going to happen. And that's what's happening in the music business. That's why this competition, then they strut around like they're some sort of touring rock star, and they make a post and 8 people like it. Yet they have 100,000 followers. Explain that to me. I mean, sorry, did I get on a roll?
No, but I think it's so funny that people think that matters.
Oh, people live by it. It's like the numbers on the Book of Face. Some weeks I'll have 4,000 views on our Thursday show. We'll have 1,000 views on this show. Other weeks it gets 300. It makes no sense.
Like I get it helps your business to have followers, but then build followers. Don't just build it. I mean, build your page. I had to redo it, you know?
Yes. Marcy's Fishbowl. I like that comment. Thank you for that, Marcy.
Tell me who that person was, Marcy, because I'll be sure not to book them.
And I was trying to see what Heath said there too before we roll out of here. Let me see. Played a show with a $5 cover charge. People would leave the door. Then the owner would call DeMoss or Benny Bodine. Love it. Well, you know, cover charges we'll get into on another day. But I do think that's an important topic as well. And yes,
there's no getting around that. Unfortunately, never mind.
Go ahead, say it.
No, because it's about cover charge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's talk about that another day. This is supposed to be, as Glenn called us out, this is supposed to be talking about egos and musician egos. And musician egos will kill the band also because what? The rest of the band will hate them. Yeah. If you're destroying a band by your social media post, your attitude, your stupidity in public, your band members aren't going to like you.
I'll tell you what, ego comes in all different shapes and forms. And there's a band that I really like, but their social media presence is just so bad that I've really cut down their bookings.
Right. And Heath, I agree with that. I've been firsthand distanced by people because they think that I'm not in their group anymore, or I don't publicize their band enough on my page and blah, blah, blah. And it's why when a band does some sort of a fundraiser, GoFundMe for somebody, you won't see me share that because I get tired of being called out because I missed somebody's one day and didn't see it and didn't get it posted. It was like we were doing band birthdays for a while on our page. I was posting up. You talk about egos. I missed a couple birthdays of some band members locally, and I got shitty messages about it. You know, and all I did was just missed it. I was busy that day, didn't see it was their birthday. You know, sorry. But it's weird how people take things. And
there's some people that try to, and I don't really care, but we know somebody, there's somebody who tried to say that the jam session was their idea. And
yes.
tried to take that, to steal that idea, to take to another venue, and ran her mouth going all around town saying, well, the jam was my idea. So, they're lucky that it's happening. And then eventually, you have all these little lies and you get called out for them and nobody wants to work with you anymore. And that happens so often. Or they delete you.
Yes, I just exploded that person, by the way. I agree. Or they block you or do something. I mean, it's hilarious. It's amazing how many friends I had in the music business who have now unfriended me. Like I am going to fall over dead over that because I didn't cater to their band. I mean, we're equal opportunity haters here. We hate everybody. No, I'm just kidding. We love them. But it's hard. It's hard sometime. And egos are massive. And
they ruin everything.
Aaron Thomas said Jamie Combs' ego gets stuck in the door. Thank you, Aaron, for that one. Jamie. Yeah, let go my ego or ego, as Aaron says. Good to have you with us, Aaron. Thanks for being here. You killed it the other night at the jam, by the way.
What does Mike Roberts mean by letting the Book of Faith speak for a band's talent and following is a false reading?
I'm trying to see it. There it is. Okay.
Maybe I don't think I understand that quote. Is he saying that one shouldn't have to do with the other, or?
No, I think he's, if I can read that right, I think he's saying letting the Facebook likes and followers and all that speak for a band's talent, because it's a very unclear picture when you look at that. And I know a local musician that has 100,000 followers, and he can post something on the social media and get 8 likes. So, just explain it to me. Explain why that happens. I mean, and there's many days we post things and I'm like, man, nobody liked that. You got to.
That happens to me all the time. They like my memes, but they don't like anything that has to do with my page.
And Heath Bowling just said it. We can post pictures pushing a grocery cart or something, get more likes.
It's true.
It's very true. So don't get too hung up on that. And what's Dave Shores saying? I respect Dave. Dave's been working in the business many years.
I'd like to meet Dave.
Yes.
Oh, he wants to meet me too.
Well, come down on a Thursday with me, Dave, and we'll join up and you can watch the jam with us and have some fun. There's probably a lot of people there you'll know, actually. What's he saying here?
He likes my memes.
Music is not a competitive sport. It is, but it shouldn't be, but it is. And unfortunately that occurs. So, we were talking about bots. We're talking about egos. And another thing is the last thing I want to leave everybody with today, and Karis, please jump in on this, how a musician commands the respect of the room. And this is off the stage. This is not on the stage. I watched Casey Gomez Saturday night work your room like an absolute presidential candidate with sweat dripping off of him on the breaks, and then get right back up there and do it again. He didn't even he went outside to steam for a minute in the cool air and then came back in and turned the fire back on the stage again. So that I respect that 110% out of an artist. People that walk in and open for a band
on a different level. They're on a different level. Like they're just, I don't know. It's ridiculous.
It is. And I got to give him big shout outs, but
I had a band who used to bring the highest numbers to the bar, but their ego was so awful and they're kind of dishonest and their ego was awful. And when they were on break, one of them would just sit on the stage on his phone, like on his amp, and just sit on the stage on his phone. Like they just did not care. As long as they were getting paid, they just did not care. And they were so rude. I never booked them again. And they brought me the highest numbers. I mean, I beat them now, but I will never book them again, ever, because of how they were, their egos. And when they weren't playing, didn't want to have anything to do with the crowd. The reason why they're there, to entertain people. Fucking dicks.
Oh my God, she did it again, people. Why do you keep doing that?
Because I don't care. Sorry, explicit content.
Yes. There. We're flashing it on the screen. Parental advisory.
Who is it, Jamie?
Better than this. Better than censoring you. I'm trying to keep up with all these comments. We got to get out of here soon. We're running real long. Glenn, I'm not sure what that means about glad I don't have an ego. I think he's being facetious. But I really, for those that know me personally, know my ego is not there. I'm very humbled by everything that goes on in my life and people, but some people on the exterior would think because we do this, we have an ego, or Ceris has an ego because she's opinionated.
Well, there's a big difference between confidence and ego. Huge difference.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to see what we got. 0 Hour getting a shameless plug in. They always throw their name in. I love that. That's great marketing. It says always works a merch booth and talks to anybody that loves talking to fans. Okay. And I didn't see what Jamie said. Let me read that real quick.
I want to know who she's talking about.
Oh, refuses to support them because the person is so talented, but never acknowledge your posts, your presence. Yeah, doesn't that suck when you're a faithful follower of a band or a musician and you walk in and they don't even acknowledge that you even exist? That's somebody whose head's way bigger than their talent. It is. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
Don't you think so? I mean,
absolutely. Is it Kevin Cooper, Jamie? Is it Kevin Cooper? Because we'll talk to him.
We'll
He's
whip
awful.
him.
He's the worst ego.
Yes. So lastly, I want to say for some of the folks out there who want to develop a brand and there's some master marketers. There's a girl online right now who's on like Instagram and all that. She's got a new song that dropped last Friday. I'm going to post it on my page one day. It's a country rock type of song. They're calling it punk country or something. It's amazing. And she is a master marketer on social media, but she's so positive. That's what everybody likes about her. So positive and thankful to her fans and the people that are watching her stuff. And I can say you feed your brand with energy and real people.
Yeah.
Not, build an audience that basically cares for you, not an audience that's just there because you wanted the like. And the people on here care for this show. They care for us. We appreciate it. And Casey Gomez. Yes, it's the word of the day. Dick's right here. Sporting goods, that is. All right. And Jay Clark agrees with the breaks. If you don't get around and talk to people, you're missing a great opportunity to develop a fan base or a friendship base for life.
Some people think they have enough fans and they don't need to work anymore for those fans.
Kevin Cooper said it was probably him.
And it's Kevin Cooper that I'm talking about.
Shane DeBoss says enough.
The worst, guys.
Enough of the ego stuff. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about Shane DeMoss, who's playing his little solo show.
Oh, so Shane, I meant to text him back. I thought he was all done, but he's doing a solo, right? And
so did I.
I thought he was done, but then I think he said that they would do minimal shows or something like that, which made me excited. I wish I had known that sooner.
All their shows are minimal.
Well, no, they weren't doing as many.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right, Jamie Combs, you're killing me, my friend. Jamie Combs, the only guy with the little black cloud that follows him around everywhere he goes, that he could end up doing a show somewhere and his car get wrapped in scene tape at a police event. I just, Jamie, if you had good luck, I wouldn't know what to say. What else we got, Ceris? We got to go. It's 40 minutes into this thing. Let's get out of here. Are you here, Ceris?
Yeah, I'm here. I just don't know what else to say.
Back to you in the studio.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. on Hot Topic Tuesday as we talk about dicks and egos.
Oh my God, Becky.
Look at
There
her
you go,
butt.
Jamie.
It is so big.
Jamie Combs, there it is for you. Have a great night, Shane DeMoss. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks. Tune in next week when the exciting topic will be watching paint dry on the newly painted tables at the bar. No, we're going to have some fun. Dicks and egos and whatever. I can't believe we have actually got people watching this insanity. But thank you so much for being a part of our lives and our programming. Ceris, I can't love you enough, my friend.
I love you all. I'm so glad to be back.
Yes. We're glad to have you back. You did some really cool things while you were gone. Hey, I want to see you all tonight, Mr. Burroughs Tavern. I'll be there quiz-tasticking you to death. And I'll see you at 7:00 there. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow, White Knuckle Weekend on the show at 5. Have you heard of them, Ceris?
Yeah, no.
White Knuckle Weekend. Tune in tomorrow. Check out the band, and we're going to talk to Billy Sutherland and company. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Thursday, Who's Playing Out? Brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio, where we feature the best musicians in the tri-state and where they're playing. That's all I got today, Ceris.
Bye, everybody.
Say bye to everybody, will ya?
Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy.
See you next
Welcome
time.
to All Around Town Radio.
Working for the weekend, and I want to see a show. I flip on the book of
I like that
face.
picture, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I know where to go. There's a man on there.
Oh, yeah, Stoney Doparella. We should have talked about that. They're going to be there tonight.
Stoney Doparella at the Bell tonight, 7:00.
Yeah. You did it.
There we are.
Hey, look, there's Kevin. There's Jamie. Tony Doparella. Look at your t-shirt. I like it. It's a good bar you're at right there. Oh, I wonder if she's having her baby yet.
I don't know. Show.
Oh, the beautiful Gina.
R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories.
Look who it is. Kevin
And now,
McCoy.
here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
Oh my, look at that.
Aw, look how pretty she looks.
Yeah, I look confused and scared.
Dewey. Always supporting. Melissa. I don't know who that is.
Harlan Lee.
Oh, Harlan Lee. There we go. Seven West.
Show.
Woo-wee.
It's the Hollywood Town Radio Show.
We got called Girl Scouts today.